Pranams to everyone. Allow me to start with the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra. You all are aware that Gayatri is the center of the Vedic Hindu philosophy, and it teaches us to walk on the righteous path, the path of Sadgyan, the path of Sadkarma, the path of Sadbhava, the path of wisdom, the path of pure intellect, and she could be reached with this piece of Rigvedic mantra. So please join me in the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra together. Om Bhurbhuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dheyo yo naha prachodaya. In the subtle presence of Param Puja Gurudev, Paramandaniya Mataji, my pronouns to everyone and very best wishes on this very important and significant occasion of the organization of the youth camp of Northern America, including US and Canada. And I congratulate all of you on this very special occasion. I would like to start my brief message by sharing a wonderful story that comes in the Upanishad. It comes in many Upanishads, Shvetashvatar Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, and it comes in a very different kind of form. But the one way that I really like the most is the one that comes in the Ishadina Upanishad, and it's the story of a boy called Shvetaketu. Shvetaketu went to a famous university in India called Takshashila, and he returned from there. He returned by excelling in all possible examination, getting the gold medal in each of them. And he returned, and when he returned, he was full of ego and pride that I know everything. So his guru, he realized that he needed to be taught the most practical and valuable lesson of the world, which is not to accumulate the knowledge but to follow the intuition, to follow the wisdom. So he called him and he said that now when you have collected so much information about the Bhagwan, Lord, God, have you really seen him? Have you ever felt his presence? And Shvetketu replied, he said no. He must have been an honest person. He said that I can tell you many verses about Bhagwan from Veda, Richa, Shruti and Smriti, but I never had an opportunity to see him. So Guru said that, do you want to see him? He said, yeah. So he got a glass of water and he got some sugar cubes. And he mixed the sugar cubes inside the water and he said, where is the sugar now? He said, oh, you mixed in front of me. I can't see it. He said, how would you know it is inside? He said, I would taste the water. The sweetness of the water would tell me that the sugar is inside. Guru said, that's how the divine is. He said, he is there, in the air. He is mixed in the air. Why? Mixed in the prana, inside you and outside you. He is the only one. Tade jati tadne jati, tad dure tadantike. Tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya payata. He is inside you, he is outside you. He is far from you, he is close to you. And only way that you can find him, he said, is by feeling him. No words can reach to him. He said spirituality is not a science of expression, it is a science of experience. He said that God is inside you, tat tumasi. It is also inside me, soham, and it is everywhere. And Shvetketu famously said, Aham Brahmasmi. I am that divine. There is no other consciousness. There is one and unified consciousness. And that message of Vedic spirituality, Vedic wisdom, Vedic scriptures, in my opinion, is the foundation of both science and spirituality. There is only one consciousness. Whether you call it consciousness, whether you call it matter, but there is only one, and everything else is the manifestation of that one. We created the biggest problem of this universe by creating a boundary for myself. Moment I create a boundary for myself and say that this belongs to me and that belongs to you, I have created the division. And water cannot be divided, air cannot be divided, light cannot be divided. They are the unified forces. And moment we create this I have created not only a problem for yourself, I also created a problem for myself. That's why if you read the Vedantic texts, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, Prasthanatrayi together, Gita, you will find that they have talked about this as the major problem. In the second chapter of Gita, 62nd and 63rd verse, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Dhyayato Vishyan Punsha Sangasteshu Pajayate, Sangat Sanjayate, Kamak Kamak Krodho Pajayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha, Sammohad Smriti Vibrama, Smriti Vanshashi Buddhinasho, Buddhinasho, Pranasho. He says that the problem starts when I want to satisfy my ego and I think this object can fulfill it. Moment I want that, moment I want to occupy it, I want to possess it, I want to have an ownership of something else that I believe does not belong to me. Moment I have the desire, I would have an expectation. And wherever there is an expectation, he said, there is always a fear of rejection. And wherever there is a fear, there would be a conflict, there would be chaos, because you have broken down the harmony. And this concept of harmony is the essential premise of all Vedic and sadhanatmak adventures. Whether you read Lord Buddha, or you read Pujya Gurudev, or you read Acharya Shankar, or you read Swami Vivekananda, or Ramakrishna Paramahansa, they all stand as the beacon of hope for humanity because there is no conflict inside them. They are silent like a sea. I remember a famous story of Lao Tzu. He told his disciples, he said, I never lost in any war. The disciple was confused. He said, how come? You are such a tiny man. You are not a strong man. How come you never lost? And Lao Tzu said, I never lost because I never wanted to win. Moment you are least care about winning, moment life is not a competition for you. You are winning in every direction, in any dimension afterwards, because there is no reason for you to fight with anything. The whole world becomes a stage for peace to appear in your life. That's why the Vedas and Upanishads were able to say that Ayam Nijah Paroveti Gadana Lagucheta Samudara Charitanam Tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that this is mine, that is yours. That kind of notion is suitable to small children. They can fight for the toys. But those who have matured in their emotions, for them the whole world is one single family. There is no hatred, there is no discrimination, there is no conflict, there is no chaos. Then we would have the revolution that Pujya Gurudev believed in. Pujya Gurudev believed in kind of revolution where every single person would be able to tap into this kind of divinity inside them, where we can found the humanity on the pillars of Ekata, Samata, Shuchita, Mamata. Ekata means unity, solidarity. Samata means equality. Mamata means compassion, and Shuchita means sacredness. And he talked about this kind of solidarity, this kind of betterment of society, this kind of world peace, world harmony, long time ago. And what Gurudev believed is proving to be so right in the current times when we see a race taking place all around us. Then we know that in this race where everything has become sort of an object that people would like to win out of a competition, whether it's inner peace or it's spirituality or tranquility of the mind. Everyone wants to have it, not because it is something important to have, but because it is desirable to have. We want to have even the path of spirituality because it has become a competition. And In return, we get a scene of chaos and confusion, uncertainty and disillusionment and dissatisfaction, um, the pain and suffering and the sorrow and the tension and the stress and the strife. It was not even in the battlefields of Mahabharata and Kurukshetra. Uh, we have populated the earth, but somehow we have annihilated the humanity. It's the world is asking for a change, and change at the level of the consciousness. It's asking for a world where people can believe into the fundamental qualities of humanity. Otherwise, the kind of world we would be living for next generation, it would be damaged, it would be fractured, families would be broken, individuality would be gone, humanity would be dead. And who wants that kind of world? And would they wanted to change it? And we are the medium for that to be changed. We have got a huge responsibility in our hands, and the responsibility is actually taking the vision, the mission, the idea, the notion that Gurudev had to every single person. And you are the future. You are the future not only of Gayatri Parivar, but you are the future of entire humanity. Maybe my words would seem too far-fetched at this moment, but I am very sure and certain that a time would come when you would be able to understand it in greater comprehension, when you would be able to understand it that, yeah, what Gurudev said, what Gurudev believed into, what Gurudev wrote, this whole world is turning in that single direction. And I pray to Divine, I pray to Puj Gurudev and Vandaniya Mataji, I pray to Ma Gayatri that your efforts would lead to a very meaningful and fruitful outcome. And you would be able to give not only great directions to the humanity, but to each and every individual who joins in this year's youth camp. Many best wishes, pranams and Mangal Kamanai from Shanti Kund Haridwar, Dev Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya, on behalf of Puj Gurudev and Vandaniya Mataji, on behalf of Shraddheya Daksa and Shraddheya Ajiji, on behalf of Shanti Kund, as your brother, my best wishes are there with each and every single participant. Pranams to all of you.